See, now you try to get me in sticky business.
Well, not that. But
I can't make decisions on the coach and who's coming, who's not.
What Bill and Tommy and Kevin all did to help you get.
Yeah, but it's those coaches and also it's other coaches also, you know, that all poured into me and that helped me throughout everything. So definitely, it take a village. It take a village to grow someone. And
Shedeur Sanders has reached his breaking point. Time after time, no matter what happens around the league, the media finds a way to put Shedeur in the crosshairs. But this time, Mary Kay Cabot went too far, and what happened next was impossible to ignore. When Coach Stefanski got fired, Cabot saw her moment. She came at Shedeur with loaded questions specifically designed to get him to either praise the new coaching setup or throw shade at Stefanski. But Shedeur wasn't buying it. He saw through her tactics immediately and called her out right there on the spot. He made it absolutely clear that she wasn't asking a real question. She was fishing for controversy, trying to manufacture a headline, trying to create drama where none existed. And Shedeur refused to play along. The exchange said it all. Instead of taking the bait, Shedeur stopped everything and addressed what was really going on. He let everyone watching know that this wasn't journalism. This was an attempt to manipulate him into saying something that could be twisted, taken out of context, and turned into a tabloid story. He essentially told her, "You're not asking me a question. You're trying to trap me into saying something controversial so you can build a narrative around it, and I'm not letting that happen." That takes guts. That takes awareness. And that takes someone who's been burned enough times by the media to recognize the game when it's being played right in front of him. Mary Kay Cabot has shown repeatedly that she has it out for Shedeur Sanders. She couldn't stand watching him dominate on the field. Week after week, when he was out there performing at an elite level, she had nothing legitimate to criticize. She couldn't attack his game because his game was locked in. She couldn't question his work ethic because everyone in the organization praised it. She couldn't doubt his leadership because his teammates stood behind him. So what did she do? She waited. She waited for any opportunity, any crack, any situation she could twist to push her narrative.
Well, I think right now what everyone needs to realize is the Browns are continuing to bring Shedeur Sanders along. They're not punishing him. They're not stashing him away in some kind of room where nobody can see him. They're not doing wrong by Shedeur Sanders. They're bringing him along at the pace they feel he needs to be brought along at, but they're really excited about what they're seeing in Shedeur.
And the second Stefanski was let go, she saw her opening. She tried to gaslight Shedeur, tried to manipulate him into saying something that could be weaponized against him. Maybe she wanted him to criticize Stefanski so she could write about how Shedeur disrespected the former coach. Maybe she wanted him to praise the new direction so she could spin it as Shedeur throwing Stefanski under the bus. Either way, she was hunting for a headline at Shedeur's expense. But Shedeur handled it perfectly. He shut it down immediately and exposed exactly what she was trying to do. And look, this isn't new. This is a pattern with Mary Kay Cabot when it comes to covering Shedeur Sanders. She has consistently lied about him, twisted situations, and pushed false narratives. Whether it's been about practice, minicamp, training camp, or actual games, this has been happening since before Shedeur even took his first professional snap. Remember when she tried to push the narrative that Dillon Gabriel was better than Shedeur Sanders? She was all over that storyline, hyping up Dillon at every turn, trying to diminish everything Shedeur was accomplishing. She'd write pieces questioning whether Shedeur was really the right choice, whether the team made a mistake, whether Dillon should be getting more opportunities. She was actively trying to create a quarterback controversy where none existed, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of fans and even management.
He needs to, and that's all the pre-snap stuff. He's got to figure out how to call the play in the huddle, how to work on the protections and the motions and all of those things that happen pre-snap. Post-snap, he's doing great. I mean, he's got a really nice ball. He's got a really nice arm. He puts nice touch on it.
But when Dillon didn't live up to the hype, when it became crystal clear that the comparison wasn't even close, what did she do? She completely flipped the script. All of a sudden, Shedeur was a baller, a great thrower, a natural leader. everything positive she could possibly say. She changed her tune real quick when she realized she was on the wrong side of history. She acted like she'd been in his corner the whole time, like she never spent weeks trying to tear him down while propping someone else up at his expense. That kind of flip-flopping isn't journalism. That's agenda-driven reporting. That's someone who cares more about being part of the story than actually reporting it accurately. But the moment she found another angle, another potential controversy, she went right back to trying to frame Shedeur Sanders. This is what she does. This is her playbook. Find an angle, twist the narrative, create controversy, generate clicks, and if Shedeur Sanders gets caught in the crossfire, she doesn't care. That seems to be her mentality. Let's not forget the speeding ticket incident. When Shedeur got that ticket, Mary Kay Cabot jumped all over it like it was the story of the century. She tried to plant the idea in people's minds that Shedeur Sanders didn't deserve to be part of the team because he was irresponsible, reckless, unfit to represent the organization. She made a mountain out of a molehill, trying to destroy his character over a traffic violation. A speeding ticket. Let that sink in.
I don't care if the team will admit that or not, but this goes on the negative side of the ledger for Shedeur Sanders in terms of winning the quarterback competition right now.
Professional athletes are human beings. They make mistakes. They get traffic tickets. They have bad days. But Mary Kay Cabot acted like this speeding ticket was proof of some deep character flaw, some fundamental problem with Shedeur's maturity and judgment. She covered it with the kind of seriousness you'd expect for a major scandal, not a minor traffic violation that thousands of people get every single day.
If I'm keeping score right now, this is not a good look for him in the quarterback competition. It's not a good look. And I think it says, okay, let's literally pump the brakes a little bit here and figure out what's going on.
She questioned whether he had the discipline to be a professional. She questioned whether he respected the rules. She questioned whether the organization should be concerned about his off-field behavior, all because of a speeding ticket. The overreaction was ridiculous, but it served her purpose. It gave her ammunition to write negatively about Shedeur Sanders when she couldn't find anything wrong with his on-field performance. At the time, Shedeur took the high road. He didn't respond publicly. He didn't engage with her articles. He didn't get into a war of words with a reporter who clearly had an agenda. He let his play do the talking. He stayed focused on football, on improving, on being the best player and teammate he could be. He showed maturity beyond his years by refusing to take the bait. But now he's firing back, and rightfully so. He's had enough of the manipulation, enough of the agenda-driven journalism, enough of Mary Kay Cabot trying to paint him as the villain in every story she writes. There comes a point where staying silent stops being the mature response and starts looking like you're accepting the disrespect. There comes a point where you have to stand up for yourself and call out the people who are consistently misrepresenting you. Shedeur did exactly that in that press conference. He exposed Mary Kay Cabot's tactics for everyone to see. He made it clear that she was trying to push him into saying something controversial, something that could be ripped out of context and used against him. He didn't just answer her question and move on. He stopped and addressed the real issue, which was her entire approach to covering him. Shedeur is too smart for that. He's too aware. He knows the game. And instead of falling into her trap, he flipped the script and exposed her right there in front of everyone. That's a power move. That's someone who's learned from experience and decided that enough is enough. This is a young man who understands the media landscape, who can spot when someone's trying to use him for clicks, views, and headlines. He's seen how the game is played. He's watched other players get manipulated by reporters hunting for controversy. He's learned from those examples, and instead of becoming a victim of it, he called it out. He stood up for himself. He protected his name and his reputation in real time. The fact that he did this publicly, in front of other reporters, in front of cameras, sends a clear message. It tells Mary Kay Cabot and anyone else who might try the same tactics that he's not an easy target anymore. It tells them that he's going to call out bad faith journalism when he sees it. It tells them that there will be consequences for trying to manufacture controversy at his expense. Mary Kay Cabot has shown her hand. She's revealed that she has a personal agenda when it comes to Shedeur Sanders.
whether it's jealousy over his success, whether it's bias against him for reasons we can only guess at, or whether it's simply that controversy sells and he's an easy target because of his name and his profile. The pattern is undeniable. Every time there's an opportunity to drag Shedeur's name through the mud, she takes it. Every time there's a chance to twist his words or stir up controversy around him, she's right there ready to strike. The consistency is what makes it so obvious. One time, maybe it's a coincidence. Twice, maybe she's just asking tough questions. But when it happens over and over and over again, when there's a clear pattern of targeting one specific player while other players don't get the same treatment, it becomes impossible to ignore what's really going on. The fact that she tried to use a coaching change, something that has absolutely nothing to do with Shedeur personally, as a way to bait him into controversy, tells you everything you need to know about her intentions. Stefanski getting fired was an organizational decision. It had nothing to do with Shedeur's performance or behavior. It was about the team's overall direction, about wins and losses, about management's vision for the future. Shedeur was just a player on the roster, doing his job to the best of his ability. But Mary Kay Cabot saw that situation and immediately thought, how can I use this to get Shedeur Sanders to say something controversial? How can I turn this into a story about him? That's not journalism. That's a hit job. That's someone with an agenda, looking for any excuse to execute that agenda. And Shedeur saw it coming from a mile away. He's dealt with her enough times now to know her tactics. He knows how she operates. He knows what she's trying to do, and he wasn't about to fall for it again. So let this be a lesson to Mary Kay Cabot and anyone else in the media who thinks they can play games with Shedeur Sanders. He's not the one. He's going to call you out. He's going to expose the manipulation, and he's going to make sure people know exactly what you're trying to do. He's going to protect his name and his reputation, and he's not going to let reporters with agendas define who he is or control his narrative.